In this video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of rotator cuff pain at home using no special equipment. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from Spine Care in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over some great exercises for shoulder and rotator cuff strain and pain. As a note, these are not geared towards helping with a torn rotator cuff. Instead, visit your local doctor. But it's going to be broken up into a very easy to follow three-part guide. We're going to focus on mobility, we're going to focus on strengthening, and then tying it all together with some great stability exercises. Go through all three parts, put them together to get the best results. As a note, all these exercises can be done at home, don't require any special equipment, and may give quick rotator cuff pain relief, even in as little as 30 seconds. So let's get started and get the rotator cuff feeling better right now. In the first part, we're going to focus on lessening rotator cuff strain and pain with some really good shoulder stretching exercises. Let's just get everything loosened up and feeling better. We're going to focus on two big movements: external rotation of the shoulder, that is taking it out, and then internal rotation. Let's start with external rotation. This is one of my favorite exercises. It's known as a dowel assisted shoulder rotator. I'm going to be using a large stick for this. A broomstick works perfect. You can use a PVC pipe. You could use a toilet plunger. If you don't have any of that, go out in the yard, grab a big stick. I hope everybody has one of those. So I'm going to take my stick right here, whatever side that I'm focusing on. I'm going to put it on the outside of the arm and then take two fingers and my thumb and just pinch onto it. During this exercise, just pinch onto this so it's a stable anchor point. My hand on the other side, so then in this case it's my left, is going to grab right below it. The movement is very easy. What I'm going to do is pull on the stick with my bottom hand, which will cause my shoulder to go outwards into external rotation. You'll really feel it on the outside of that shoulder. So go down to a point where it's a very deep stretch, but this is very important, not to the point where it's causing any sharp pains. You want to stop right before that point. Hold this position for about 15 to 20 seconds. You're just going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this. With each repetition, try to go a little bit further with it. Build more mobility into the shoulder. And you want to do this slowly for 3 to 5 repetitions. Why I like this one so much is because you can really control the amount of rotation into the shoulder without causing a lot of irritation. And I do recommend that once you are done on one side, switch to the other to keep them both in balance. So next, let's focus on internal rotation of the shoulder. Here's a really good exercise known as the sleeper. And again, this one you can control the amount of stretch very easily and very slowly, which will hopefully lead to less irritation of the rotator cuff. What we're going to do is start off in bed or on the floor, laying on the side that we're focusing on. So in this case, I have a lot going on in my right rotator cuff. I'm going to bend my elbow at 90 degrees. My fingers are going to be pointed up towards the ceiling like this. Make sure that the elbow to the shoulder is flush against that flat surface. We want to really isolate the shoulder. By doing a slight push down into the elbow too, that will help. From there, I'm going to take my hand, place it on the back side of the arm right here, and slowly lower my palm down towards the floor or towards the bed. The further that you go down, the more that you're going to notice that a very deep stretch happens in the shoulder. What we want to do is go to a point where it's a very deep stretch but not causing any pain or discomfort. So like, let's say right here, if I went any further, I would get pain into my shoulder. I stop and I then hold this for 20 seconds. From there, I just relax, and then on the next repetition, what I'll notice, I have a little bit more flexibility. I can go down further without having that pain. So I slowly build into it over the course of 3 to 5 repetitions. With this too, notice afterwards how much more flexibility you have, and hopefully you'll have a lot less rotator cuff pain. And I always do recommend that after you get done on one side, just switch to the other to keep both in balance. In this part, we're going to focus on strengthening the rotator cuff. So if we're not only looking to get rid of pain, but hopefully lessen future instances of it, we have to make everything stronger. I'm going to show two different methods. The first I like to call the soup can method. I'm going to be using a tasty can of beef barley soup. You can use any flavor you like. So this is a progressive exercise. Start off light with a can of soup. You can also go into something heavier like a water bottle, or if you do have a dumbbell, you can use that. But start off light, progress into heavier as needed. This is known as the genie exercise because it kind of looks like a genie in its position. What I'm going to do is start off by just gripping the can of soup or whatever object you're using on the side that you're having discomfort. In this case, it would be my right rotator cuff. I'm going to bring the arm up like this, bend the elbow at 90 degrees. The other arm is also going to be bent at 90 degrees at the elbow, and I'm going to take the back side of the hand right here, place it underneath that elbow. What we want is kind of a nice support or a shelf. That way we can really isolate the shoulder with this movement. The movement, very easy. I'm just going to simply lower the soup can or whatever object that you're using towards the floor. It should take you about 5 seconds to go all the way down. This puts the shoulder into internal rotation. When you do this, notice if you can go down all the way. If you can, that's great, but if you're not able to because you're getting pain or discomfort, that's a point that you want to stop at. From there, what I'm going to do is then come back up and do the same thing. Put the shoulder into external rotation. It should take you about 5 seconds. Again, stopping at any point before it causes discomfort. When you do this again, what you'll notice is that maybe you had to stop right here on the first attempt. You'll probably be able to go just a little bit further this time around. Not only is it help strengthening this, but it's also helping to stretch everything out and hopefully get a lot more mobility into that shoulder. But just do this nice and slowly for about 10 to 12 complete repetitions. Good way to really focus on internal rotation and external rotation of the shoulder and help strengthen that shoulder capsule. And I always do recommend that when you're done on one side, switch to the other, keep them both in balance. The second strengthening exercise is what I'd like to call the door frame method, because we're going to be using just a door frame. To start off with, let's grab a cushion like a small towel. You can roll up a t-shirt or even just a small pillow. What we want to do is whatever side that we're focusing on, let's bend that elbow at 90 degrees. The arm is going to go straight out in front of us, elbow to the hand. Take the cushion, place it right on the inside of the elbow right here, and then take your elbow and press into the cushion to your side. This will create a stable anchor point so we can really isolate the rotator cuff a little bit more. We're going to do external rotation to start off with. So let's go right up to our door frame and position it again where our arm is straight out in front of us. What I'm going to do is just start off with initial amount of tension on the back side of my hand pressing into that door frame. From there, I'm going to build into it by pressing into it even more. The more that you press into it, the more that you're going to feel the shoulder and rotator cuffs activate. Only go to a comfortable activation of those rotator cuffs. This should not cause any discomfort. Once we hit that point, let's hold this for 5 seconds. From there, you're just going to relax, and then you're going to repeat this, taking this hand, driving it in. Really try to focus on bringing this hand out as much as you can. Do this for 10 to 15 repetitions. Next, let's focus a little bit more on internal rotation. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my towel, place it on the inside, press in as much as I can to isolate the rotator cuff, but this time around we're going to go inwards, but we're going to resist against it by placing our hand right on the edge of that door frame. So from here, what I'm going to do is just push in as much as I can, hold this for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to relax and then repeat this for 10 to 15 complete repetitions. And it's always a good idea that when you're done on one side to switch to the other. Keep them both in balance. So in the last part, we're going to tie everything together to help build stability into the shoulders, the shoulder blades, and the rotator cuffs through really good dynamic movements. This exercise is known as the swimmer, and it's best done in bed. Start off on your stomach, have your shoulders and head off the edge. What I'm going to do is start off with my arms straight at the elbow, palms will be up towards the ceiling. Just overlap your hands in the small of the lower back. From there, what I'm going to do is press down with my hands into my lower back and then wing my elbows up towards the ceiling. The more that you bring the elbows up, the more that you're going to feel muscles activate into the chest, into the shoulders, and upper back. Really focus on that. You want to hold this comfortably for about 5 seconds. From there, what I'm going to do is then straighten my elbows out and then point my hands roughly 30 to 45 degrees away from my body. Palms will still be up towards the ceiling. From there, I'm going to raise my palms up towards the ceiling, and this becomes a very deep activation of those muscles, so really challenge yourself with this. Again, hold for about 5 seconds. The next movement, what I'm going to do are bring my hands and arms in front of me, but I'm also going to rotate those shoulders so now my palms are facing down towards the floor. From here, my arms are going to be straight at the elbows, again, roughly 30 to 45 degrees out from me, or I should say away from the body, and then I'm going to raise up with my hands towards the ceiling. You'll notice that this activates the shoulder and those rotator cuffs just a little bit differently. Hold this for 5 seconds, and then you're going to go into the last part. Take your hands and then place them on the back of the head just like this. Again, we're winging the elbows up towards the ceiling, and this really activates into the chest, into the shoulders. 5-second hold. From there, you're just going to go into reverse. So go off to the side again, raise them up, hold that for 5 seconds, and then when you're done, you're just going to come back, rotate those shoulders so the palms are up towards the ceiling, raise those up, hold that for 5 seconds, and then go back to the starting position where your hands are into, I should say, on the small of the lower back, winging those elbows up like this. Try to do this for 3 to 5 complete repetitions. It's just a good way to really just focus on so many muscle groups and hopefully get a lot of good rotator pain relief. If the exercise has helped, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much for watching.